What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Save with a Twist podcast. I am your host, Darissa, but you can call me D. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, where's the video this week? Well, life is lifing, and we got a lot of travel and things going on, so I didn't have time to set up the camera to record, but I did have time to sit down and talk to you this week about that main character energy, but we're tired, okay? And for those of you, saints and ain'ts, who don't know what main character energy is, it is basically where you are taking the lead of your life, you're prioritizing you, you're being authentic, and you are very proactive in your decision making, okay? However, I know a lot of us want to be the main character in our own story, in our movie, in our book, but we are tired because I want to be the main character, but I also want to nap. I want a snack. I want for no one to need anything from me. But I still got to be the main character. I still got to do all the things. But that's what we're talking about today. So I really want to talk about this because y'all know I've mentioned it on this podcast so many times. Always talking about healing and making sure that you yourself are good. But I feel like this main character energy, I know it came from TikTok. But I feel like that we have lost what it really means, because at one point we were doing it, but now I feel like it's really just become a performance. Like, you're supposed to be focusing on the healing, not on what it looks like to be healed, if that makes sense. And if not, drop it in the comments and I will definitely give you a little bit more details about that. Because I know we've all talked about, doing therapy, making sure you're speaking with the therapist. And now it's just like, oh, I go to therapy. Like, y'all have made it an aesthetic instead of actually going to therapy to get your issues worked out, to make sure that you're healing. And then, not to mention also with this main character energy, we've I know y'all have heard hard wig, soft life, all the things. But soft life, it seems now, has turned into this overwhelming amount of pressure to give people a look that makes them have followers and all of that. But that's not what that soft life is about. For me, that soft life means I don't have to stress about stuff. I don't have to be worried about money, people. Can I do X, Y, and Z? It's just literally, I'm living the life that I want, the life that I've curated for myself. If I want to have a spa day, I'm going to go have a spa day. If I want to just sit down, read a book, write a book, whatever I want to do, I can do that. And I don't feel pressured from anybody else to do what it is that I am doing. Now, I'm going to say this. Even I've seen it on social media and it is driving me up a wall. When people literally film content, oh, I'm going to go, rest and do all of this. But clearly you're not, because what are you doing? You're setting up a camera to rest and relax. Now, if that's what your content is, kudos to you, babe. But you don't always have to show everybody everything. And maybe it's just because we are starting to romanticize life versus actually living life. Because now, I'd like to do a little bit of research, but the main character energy thing, it started as a way to empower you to, don't just let life pass you by, take an active role in your life. And now I feel like a lot of people, instead of living in the moment or feeling the moment, they're just simply filming the moment. Like, you always have to set your camera up and record this or record that. Again, if this is your bread and butter, this is what you do, and you love sharing your life, great. I am not talking about you. But some of those people where you can tell it's just really a performance, they tap dance on my nerves, and my algorithm keeps serving these people to me. Now, for me, I am a content creator of such, a little bit. But when it's real moments, real time to spend with family and friends, and even while dating, or should I say courting, I put the phone away because I want to live in the moment. Like, if I showcase something on my social media, what you're seeing is a highlight of a great night, a great moment, a great afternoon. And you're not seeing what really happened because I'm only giving you a 30-second clip or a minute clip of what happened. And to be real honest with you, I know some days you nor I feel like being the main character. And sometimes you just want to be like an extra on a movie set who doesn't have any lines, but I can just walk through and not really have to do too much. Because now that main character energy feels like a performance. It feels like an expectation. And I'm going to say this, not everything that is meaningful needs to be visible, if you catch my drift. Because these meaningful moments, like I have some new neighbors that have moved in, and it's all well and good. Like when we introduce ourselves to them, they're like, "Oh, we're getting married." I love that for them. I really do. But I've seen some other people who are getting married and engaged. And how is it that you are enjoying your wedding day when you are constantly posting step by step by step, except for when you said your vows? But you had somebody else there to literally hold the phone and post it step by step by step. If not, you just should have live streamed your wedding. That's all I'm saying. You should live stream it, and you take the clips and you post whatever it is you're posting. But not every meaningful moment needs to be visible to everybody. And then I saw this content creator, cannot remember her name. She was talking about she feels lazy if she just rests, because for some odd reason we have started guilt tripping ourselves if we're not productive. However, rest is very productive, because if you keep going, you're going to burn out. You're going to lose your creativity. You're going to lose your spark. And one, that's not a good thing. And then also it's like you're equating your worth with how much you can put out, especially like if you're a content creator. Because at one point I was doubting myself, because I have, of course, my YouTube channel. Some of you are listening to this podcast via my YouTube channel. And I really haven't posted videos. But it's not because I have not recorded said videos. Some of them I have edited, but there have been some other technical difficulties with my videos that they have not gone up. And at one point I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I haven't posted in months. Sometimes you got to take a step back. You got to get things together. You got to get the technical side together so that people can enjoy your content. And I can say without a doubt, I'm putting out content that I love, that I can say 20 years down the road that, oh yeah, like I appreciated when I, was filming this and when I did X, Y, and Z. And I've stopped myself from feeling like, oh, I can't say not that I'm not worthy, but that I have to hustle to churn out these videos. Because I've seen some content creators, they post once a month. Some post twice a week. I was giving y'all like a weekly video. And like I said, I filmed some of this, but the quality is not at the level that I need it to be so that you can actually enjoy it. And some of the stuff, my audio has been completely off. And no matter me trying to fix it, it just didn't work out. So, of course, some things I'm going to have to re-record. I know that. And it's discouraging for a minute, but I have to say this. I've taken some time to not do it, and I've rested because I was trying to turn myself into a machine to churn this out. So, that the YouTube algorithm would constantly, feed people my videos. But I'm okay right now because I do know that it's an algorithm. Do I want to make money from it? Absolutely. But I also want to make content that is helpful and sustainable over time, because I know y'all have seen people getting canceled left and right in all of the things that they're doing because of something they said so long ago that they even forgot that they said it. And I don't want to be one of those people. Let's just say it like that. And to me, like, I'm just going to say this, because if you listen to last week's podcast and my guest that was on the podcast, we were talking about posting stuff, and we were actually talking about this prior to us starting the podcast, and talking about, how sometimes you wish you could go viral, but we were kind of saying it was like a catch-22 with that, because a lot of times people go viral and they don't know how to capitalize on the moment, or they do, and you see them smiling online, but they struggling behind that camera. Like they're struggling with life. They got depression, suicidal, all the things. And I'm going to say this because he was talking about becoming a Christian content creator. Now, this is going to kind of be like a little caveat away from what I'm talking about, but stay with me because I'm going somewhere with this. I've seen a lot of Christian content creators say that they feel very stuck in the content that they're putting out, the content that they want to do, because of this idea about what a Christian content creator should be. Now, am I a believer in Christ? Yes, this podcast is literally called Saved with a Twist. But I am one of those believers in Christ because I don't like the term Christian anymore, thanks to the crazy people that are in that red hat cult. I don't like to use that term anymore because of them. But they talked about how they can't post certain things because it's going to, one, affect their brand, or two, have the trolls and the people online saying, oh, you're not a Christian content creator. Now, mind you, everybody's beliefs in Christ is different. And I say all that to say, I don't want to be labeled as a Christian content creator because that is not the only makeup of my identity. Am I a believer in Christ? Again, yes. Do I like to go out and go to concerts? Kinda. And I say kinda because I got into the concert game later. Like, I'm pretty sure my first concert was going to see the reunion. Was it the reunion tour? Yeah, that one. My next concert was the Queen's concert, which is, Auntie Patty, because y'all love me some Patti LaBelle. And all of the wonderful singers. Shaka Khan, sadly, she disappointed me because she let that backup singer hit that note and she didn't do it when she could still hit it. But I'm gonna let it go one day. I mean, Stephanie Mills, all of these people. But I don't think I posted anything for it. But had I posted that as a Christian content creator, everybody would have told me I was going to hell. Oh, you're not a Christian content creator. And for some odd reason, I just really don't get this. Like I said, I'm about to wrap up my little segue here. I don't get why people don't understand that as a believer in Christ, you have a spiritual side, you have a natural side. I do say saints and ain'ts on here because I know some people are not believers in Christ. You may believe in Allah, you may believe in Buddha, whatever you believe in, what you believe in. I am not here to knock your beliefs. Or you may believe in nothing. I don't know. You may be an atheist, agnostic. I don't know. I don't know all the details of that. But still, I say that in a loving way. It's not negative, just saints and ain'ts. But if I was, again, like I said, if I was a Christian content creator, that would not be the place that I would want to be. And I say this because we were talking about, like I said, my guest that was on last week, we were talking about how a lot of people post, I'm blessed and highly favored in captions, during hard times in their life and things like that. Whereas as we're trying to be main characters, we're not gonna say that we're struggling. But, some people be like, when one door closes, God opens another one. Sometimes, it may mean something totally different or whatever for you, but we're all living life. And honestly, I don't think people realize when you are the main character in the story, the main character also has trials and tribulations. Like I said, whether it's a book or a movie, however you want to imagine your life, everybody going through stuff. And I feel like we've gotten to that point where life is so much of an aesthetic that we don't ever tell the truth and say, hey, today is not a good day. There is this one content creator. I want to say her name is Jerry or something like that. I appreciate her content. Why? Because she stopped posting for like 2-3 months. And she came back and she was like, y'all, I'm sorry I haven't posted. But I was going through it. And she's like, I just did not even feel like picking up a camera. And not that she gave a full explanation of why she was not there or why she was not present. But she just was saying, hey, I want you to know I am human. I am a content creator. Like, she does talk about main character energy a lot. But she's like, I want you to know that this is the reality of content creation. And those who are, her ride or die followers, they checked in on her, things like that. But you have to master, or I should say, they want you to master this I'm good, even when you're not, instead of just you taking a moment. I mean, like I said, you don't even have to give the details for this because, like I said, you're the main character. You can write the story how you want it. You can just say, you know what? I'm not okay, but I will be okay. And honestly, when is the last time you told the truth about how you feel without filtering it for someone? I was even talking to a friend, I want to say yesterday, and we were talking about when you're dating or, in a relationship with someone, how some people will filter their words and their comments and their statements for their partner, because not that you're looking for a desired effect or response from them, but because you just don't want them to hurt your feelings, or you don't want, hurt feelings, vice versa, whichever. And I found that very interesting, y'all, because you know what? I don't think I've ever technically considered a partner's feelings, ever. Like, I'll tell you how I'm feeling, especially if you ask me. I know how to say it with a grain of salt, but if you catch me in a bad day, I'm just going to say it. Your feelings they may get squashed. Hopefully you're strong enough to deal with that. But it's just amazing how sometimes when we're trying to be the main character, we will relegate ourselves to that faithful sidekick instead. Now, I know that was a little bit of tangent, but let's get back onto this, okay? So, now, here is the section for the saints. Like I said, this podcast is called Save with a Twist. And I did mention Christian content creators. But I really want you to know, if you are a believer in Christ, let me say this with a grain of salt. Faith that looks good to others may not be the faith that you think it is. Because I will say this is kind of like that faith, having real faith versus the aesthetic faith. I have seen so many people get up and shout around the church, or pretend to shout, or constantly do the same shout over and over and over again. And sadly, and I do mean sadly, they are just doing it to put on a performance, which is sometimes why I feel, personal opinion, that people don't want to come to church, because you are faking it and you are not real. Now, if you're going to be a believer in Christ, you're going to have some real faith that is going to sustain you when times get tough. And I am speaking from experience. I have had times where I can't say that I've cursed God, but I'll just be like, why are you letting me go through this? Now, mind you, it's just because I'm in a bad place. I've never stopped doubting him. I've never stopped loving him. I have never denounced the Lord, not once. If you are a Bible reader or Bible scholar, you will know that the number one thug of the disciples' name was Peter. I tell people, I have a Peter spirit. I will go to war on behalf of the Lord, but never will I deny him like Peter denied Jesus. Not happening for me. I'm chopping ears off. I'm fighting. I'm turning over the tables in the temple right along with Jesus. But that's my type of faith. Even when I am in a low place, my faith is still intact. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people, and not that I'm calling anybody out, but it may sound that way. I've seen so many people just post stuff like, oh, God is so good, God bless you, on almost every single post. You do not mean that. You can't tell me that you do, especially if it's somebody you don't like. Now, if you mean it, kudos to you, because you have matured far from the rest of us. And we all need to, use your example. But I've seen some people where I know when they create a post for somebody, they actually don't like that person, don't want to talk to them, don't want to be around them. But you're creating a post for somebody. I'm like, that's hypocrisy. But I don't say anything because who am I to judge? And then also I've seen this trendy, I guess you can call it trendy spirituality. And you're setting your camera up to record to make sure that you get a good shot of you shouting, dancing, and praising the Lord, right? But where is the real surrender? Where is that real, like, God, I'm giving everything to you because I can't do this by myself. Where is it? I need somebody. Is it in the room with us? Because honestly, some of us don't need to be so deep in our faith. What you need is some real honest faith where you can say, like I've said, hey, I'm not having a good day, Lord. Like, what's going on with this? I'm going through trial, tribulation after trial and tribulation. I'm not Job. I don't want to be the new Job because I don't want you to take everything from me. But if I got to go through it, walk with me through this because I feel like you done left me. Like, you got to be honest about that. And I understand, that as you're going through your faith walk and just your walk in life, that you got to figure it out. But, we all out here figuring it out. If you feel called out by this, little, I don't want to call it faith rant, I am sorry. But I'm also not sorry because, again, everybody has their opinions. I'm not trying to be, preachy and sound like a pastor, but be honest about your faith. Be honest that you are, as they call it, you have the duality of spirituality and you have that natural side where you just want to go out there and twerk and do whatever. I don't mean in the club, but you just might want to go twerk. I mean, go to a Zumba class and have you a good time. Do what you're going to do. But I say all that to say, because everything that I've talked about, you're being the main character in it, whether it's in your faith, whether it's you on socials, whether it's you trying to make life look grand for some people that you don't even know their names, what have you, whoop-de-whoop. But you can be the main character and you can also be tired of doing all of those things. Like, you don't have to perform your life to prove that your life matters. Because if nobody has told you today, let me tell you now. You matter. Your life matters. You are important. You are not just important to just you, but somebody out there is looking up to you. Somebody is out there watching you. Somebody is out there envious of the life that you have, even though you may be complaining about it. Somebody is out there looking up to you saying that I want to be just like them because they handle things with such grace and such dignity. I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, the real main character energy that we should really be focusing on now is being honest about where you actually are in life and sharing that with other people so that they know they are not doing this alone. Now, I will say, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you can comment down below and say what you feel. Because the question is it real or are we performing it? So, number 1, is it real or are we performing when we romanticize our morning routine? For those who actually record their morning routines. Posting soft life content, but being stressed in real life. Is that real? Or should we perform it for people? This is just a question. And for those saints, this is your question because you get one separately from everybody else. Is it real or are you performing when you over spiritualize everything instead of processing it? And for those who, saints and ain'ts, if you don't know what I mean, if you say, ooh, the devil did it, when you know it was a decision you made, that's what I mean by over spiritualizing things. Because we definitely do not have time for that. But this is all I got for you because I got to go get some things done for this trip. And I can't wait to see you next week here on Say with the Twist podcast. Make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing for all the things. Save with a twist, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.